Hello students, welcome to the class of third year of Computer and Information Technology. We are studying the CSS subject, that is client side scripting, and the subject code is 22519. So first we will see the today's video's learning outcomes. We are at chapter 2, array, functions and strings, and our topic is function. Now we will cover today calling a function. In this calling a function, we are going to learn about calling a function with or without arguments, calling a function from HTML, calling another function calling another function, and returning a value from function. These are our today's learning outcomes. Now we will see one by one. So we will see firstly calling a function with or without an arguments. As we know, the function is the iterative process. Means it shrink the code, it shrink the programming code. So calling a function means using the defined function. A function can be called from any section of the code. One can call a function without arguments or with arguments. Now syntax for the function is function and name. This syntax is very simple. Just we have to write the function keyword and the name, which with the empty brackets and the semicolon. Now calling a function without arguments. Now in this topic, calling a function, we have to learn with the arguments and without the arguments. So firstly we will see calling a function without arguments. So a function called without arguments simply by using function name followed by a parenthesis as shown in the example. So this is example. This is our program, JavaScript program, HTML, head, then title of our program, that is calling function without arguments, and the end of the title. This is the script tag. So we will declare variable as a var x is equal to 10, and this is the function keyword, and this is the show, this is the function name. So function show opening curly brace where atom is equal to a pen, and document dot write the cost of the atom is atom is the value. This is the closing brace for this function, and the closing tag of script, closing tag of head. This is body. In the body we have to write again the script code. This is show, and script tag ending, body tag ending. So this is the function definition, and this is the function calling. After executing, so after writing the program, we will save it by this name 2.3.1.html, and after executing we will get this output. The cost of the atom pen is 10. Means this code is in the function show, and this is the definition, and this is the calling. In this by this single statement you can call the code of the statements. Okay. Now calling a function with arguments. In a practical situation we might need to add some values, that is parameters, in the round brackets. A function can take multiple parameters separated by commas. The syntax of that function is function name, parameter 1, parameter 2 and parameter 3, then opening curly brace and code to be executed, and closing curly brace. In the previous example we have to write only function and function name, and there was no parameters. So this is with arguments or with parameters. That's why we have to write the parameters in the function name. Function parameters are the names listed in the function definition. Function arguments are the real values passed to the or any received by the function. Means arguments are the real values which are passed or which are received by that function, particular function. We will see here one example. This is the doc type HTML or document type. Then HTML tag, head tag, title, calling function with arguments, end of title. Then in script tag, function add x, y. So function is a keyword, add is a function name, and x and y separated by commas are the parameters or the arguments. So in the function definition, we are going to write here result is equal to x plus y. So we are adding here to these variables, document.write, addition and result, script tag. Then end of closing curly brace, end of script tag, end of head tag. Then in body we have to write that function. This is function definition, and at this statement we are calling the function, means add, as the function name is add, and the parameters x and y. These are the different parameters values for two addition functions. First add 10 10 and after add 25 25. And the script tag, body tag, HTML tag. So we will see here the output. Output is function with passing arguments, and addition is 20, addition is 50. So we have to remind that we are passing parameter value to the function. The function add is called twice. In this program, the function add is called twice. Every time we want to add two numbers, we need not write the code for every single time. So we can write code at once only. Add the call it many times as we want. Means we can define a function at once, but we can call it at many times. That's why it shrinks the coding. Okay. Now we will move to the next point. Our next point is calling function from HTML. A function can be called from HTML code on your web page. Now, rather than explicitly calling a function, it will be called in response to an event, such as when the web page is loaded or unloaded by the browser. For example, you have written two different functions name as welcome and goodbye. Then you want code of welcome function should executed when a HTML from body is located in a browser, and you want goodbye function should be executed when a HTML from body is unloaded in browser. For this code, we will look like as follows. Body unload is equal to welcome function, and body on unload equal to goodbye function. Or in a single line, body on load is equal to welcome and on unload is equal to goodbye function. By seeing one example, we will get a clear idea about this. So this is the program HTML tag, in HTML tag, head tag, title, calling the function from HTML. Then script tag, function, first function is our function name, and welcome is our function name. We have to simply print the welcome deal. Alert means alert box is used to print that. Then function goodbye, alert, bye bye, and end of the script. And here we will call that function body onload equal to welcome, on unload equal to goodbye. Browser call the goodbye function right before the user move to the another web page. Okay, in this browser, firstly it called the goodbye function. So this code is saved by this 233 HTML. Then after executing this, we will get this window. This page says welcome dear. So after clicking OK, we will get this window. Means in the browser, goodbye function right before the user move to the another page. Means firstly this function is executed, afterwards this one. Okay. Now we will see one more example using on-click method button in the program. In this method, we will create and define a function in HTML. Okay. So in HTML tag, head tag, script tag, function, my function. This is function opening brace and alert, hi there. And this is closing brace, closing script, closing head. In the body, we have to use for a click button. This coding is used for on click button. Input type is equal to button, on click, my function, and value is equal to display. So button value is equal to display. This one. Okay. In this method, we will create and define the function in the HTML document head section. This one. To invoke this function, the HTML document, we have to create a simple button, and using on-click method. On-click method is a event attribute which is in event handler. We will going to see in next chapter that. Using that on-click button along with it, and we can call the function by clicking that on-click button. Means here we have name this button as a display. So after executing this program, we will get this window first. Then click the following button to see the function. So after clicking display, this page says hi there as in our function. Okay, this statement is executed. So our next topic is function calling another function. In a large-scale application which comprise of many functions, there may be requirement that one function is calling another, and which further calling another in chain. In JavaScript, we can simply call a function either on a specific event or can call it from another function also. To invoke or call a function somewhere later in the script, you would simply need to write the name of that function as shown in the code. Means concept is same, means function calling another functions. Means in the main function we have to call the another function which is already defined globally. Okay. So this is one example. HTML head script function say hello. Say hello is a function name, and it will print as hello there. End of script. Now again header, end of head tag. Then in body tag we will again use some button, means on click method, which is used by this program. can use here different text to write the method. In this text, different text means we can change this text. So after executing this program, we will get this output. Click the following button, call the function, means say hello. After clicking this button, we will get this window, hello there. Means in this program, this function is calling by another function, means using by this on click button method. Okay. So here is the second example. Same, means say hello, and here is the parameters of the function. Means function name is say hello, name and age. Document.write name and age and years old. So after using this again button on click method, it will display the value of these functions. So after clicking this say hello button, the output is Zara is 7 years old. This is the output for this program. Now our next topic is returning a value from function. As we know that every function should return a value. Every function has some value for returning. Sometimes we want the function to perform some calculations and return the results, so that we value from a function. This statement should be the last statement in a function, can use that results outside the function. We use return statement to return a value. Means return is a keyword. We use this keyword to return a value. In a JavaScript function can optional return statement. This is required if we want to return an example. Now we can pass two numbers in a function, and then we can expect from the function to return their multiplication in our calling program. Syntax is return and value. This is the syntax for returning a value from function. Return, simply we have to write return keyword and value. So the value may be whatever it should be. Now the example is, here is a simple example, that is addition of area of a rectangle. Means this is HTML tag, head tag, title, JavaScript return statement, closing of title tag, closing of head tag in the body, script tag. Then this is the function. Then function keyword and area rect is a function name, and these are the parameters. L and B. Then in opening brace we have to define here function, that is where area is equal to L into B, and return area means return value. It will return this value, means whatever the multiplication of L and B, it will return this. Closing brace. Then x is equal to area rect, and this is the value for this L and B, 6 and 9. Then we have to print that x. Now we have to return this value area, and we have assigned that value to the x as a variable. And after executing this program, we will get the answer, that is 54. 6 9s are 54. L into B means 6 into 9, and it is 54. You can change here the numbers, you can change here the logic, area of rectangle, area of square, area of triangle. Like this, we can return a value in the function. Okay. Now we will see some MCQs. The first MCQ is, do functions in JavaScript necessarily return a value? The options are: it is mandatory, not necessary, few functions return a value by default, some functions do not return any value. The answer is C, few functions return a value by default. Now, what will be the following JavaScript code work? This is the code where 10 squared equal to function x return x into x and 10. It should work. First option is of S perfectly, second is error, third is exception will be thrown, and fourth is memory leak. The answer is A option, that is S, perfectly it will work, because the function name is optional for the function defines as an expression. Means here we have to we are going to define the function as a expression. So sometimes define and immediately invoke. In this it is defined and immediately it invokes by this x. So x into x means 10 into 10, and our function name is 10 squared. So it is the perfect code, it will run. Now the MCQ is, what is the purpose of a return statement in a function? First option, return the value and continuous executing rest of the statements if any. Return the value and stop the program. Return the value and stop executing the function. Stop executing the function and return the value. Now answer is return the value and stop executing the function. Means return function purpose is it returns and stop executing the function. With this topic we have completed our functions. Now we will going to learn in next lecture string. Means there are the different string functions. So thank you.